Beer, what a splendid beverage. Did you know it's the national drink of Belgium, where it's enjoyed for its variety of flavours, much like wine. Not only are the Belgians expert at brewing beer, they're also expert at cooking with it. And nowhere is this more evident than in their stew from Flanders, the carbonnade flamande. And that's what's on the menu today in Consuming Passions. Only this one may be made with Australian ingredients, Australian beer and Australian beef. Let's start with the beef. A cheaper cut of braising steak or stewing steak can be used, and I remove any surplus fat before cutting it into cubes. And don't forget that all lean red meats are a great source of dietary iron. Once cubed, I toss them in some flour seasoned with white pepper. And I find the easiest way of doing this is with a plastic bag. Just shake up those beef cubes. Then I toss them in a dry strainer to remove the surplus flour. Then they're browned in a little oil over medium heat. If you don't have a large pan, just do a few pieces at a time. You don't want them overcrowding. And they mustn't be allowed to stew, they've just got to brown. Now, traditionally, this would have been done with butter or lard. But to reduce my intake of saturated fat, I'm using a canola oil. You could use another oil low in saturated fat, such as olive oil or peanut oil. And once they're browned, they're removed. Now, into the same pan go onion pieces from one medium onion and a few bacon strips, lean bacon with the fat removed. Once the onions start to brown, I add a little sugar, just a teaspoon or so, and a little lemon juice, or you could use vinegar, as the Belgians do. Now to the beer, a strongly flavoured ale or stout preferably, but any good beer will work in this dish. And of course the alcohol will be cooked out, making the dish child-friendly. Just a couple of other seasoning ingredients, some thyme, fresh or dried, and a couple of bay leaves, which of course work better when they are dried. One more thing to prepare. I just have to spread some creamy Dijon-style mustard onto some bread with the crusts removed. Good white or wholemeal bread. Of course, in days of old, bread used to be used as a thickener for sauces. And now I can assemble the dish. Into a casserole dish or other oven-proof dish go the meat pieces. Then this wondrous beer with its onion, herbs, and bacon. Final topping of the bread covered with the mustard. On goes the lid, and it's into the oven. A slow oven, about 140 degrees C, for a couple of hours. And there it is, out of the oven and a joy to behold. Perfect, served with vegetables of your choice and some of that superb sauce. An Australian version of a Belgian classic, beef with beer. Drink a beer with it if you'd like, but I prefer a full-bodied Australian red. A Shiraz would be absolutely perfect. From Consuming Passions, bon appetit.